Hey, what is going on, guys? So today I want to make use of some of the very brilliant logic that some of us vegans have heard of in the last couple years or so that is very often used by the carnivore and anti-vegan community to discredit the health aspect of a vegan diet. This brilliant logic comes in the form of pointing out the fact that people, or many people in the last couple years or so, have quit the vegan diet, and then these facts will be used to come to the conclusion that therefore the vegan diet or the plant-based lifestyle is unhealthy. So I just want to see if we can use this brilliant logic to debunk the diets that the people who use this brilliant logic often advocate for. I also want to see other habits that this genius logic can help us determine is actually extremely unhealthy, and therefore habits that we should all do away with. Keep in mind, guys, this logic is very hard to grasp and requires a significant portion of your brain power. So if you're vegan especially, pause this video, get some B12 in, get some caffeine in, because we're about to go for an insane wild ride, which is filled with seemingly incomprehensible intellectual depth. Let's start with the carnivore diet. So I went and looked up the carnivore diet, and it turns out that people are quitting the carnivore diet left and right. I guess this means that the carnivore diet is also unhealthy. This is a little bit ironic considering many of the people who claim the vegan diet is unhealthy because people are quitting it are actually on the carnivore diet. There are also a lot of people who are going vegan, which essentially means they are quitting the omnivore diet, which means that an omnivorous diet is therefore unhealthy. But then some of those people who go vegan from omnivore end up going back to omnivore, which means they're quitting the vegan diet. So that also means that the vegan diet is unhealthy. So they're going from an unhealthy diet to another unhealthy diet, and then back to the original unhealthy diet. Anytime somebody quits a specific diet or a specific habit, it's therefore unhealthy. I mean, guys, how much sense is this really making? I can't believe the anti-vegan and carnivore diet advocates' logic actually disproves their own diet. I mean, just how genius is that? So let's look at some other habits that people are just quitting left and right, which therefore means that they're very unhealthy. Let's start with exercising. There are many people who quit exercising, which obviously means that exercising is unhealthy. Everybody needs to stop exercising. There are people who quit studying for college exams. Studying is not healthy. Every job that has been quit by somebody is unhealthy. Every single one. There are people who decide to quit drinking water and just drink soda and alcohol instead, which means that water is unhealthy. There are some people who decide to quit being good people, so this must mean that being a good person or striving to be a good person is actually very unhealthy. People need to stop trying to be a good person immediately. Trust me, it's not good for you. People are quitting it. If you look at serial killers, these are people who have quit not murdering people. So not murdering people is actually extremely unhealthy because people are quitting not murdering people. What about not sexually assaulting people? When somebody becomes a rapist, they're making the active decision to quit not sexually assaulting people. This means that many people are quitting not sexually assaulting people. So not sexually assaulting people is very unhealthy. Oh, here's a really good one, guys. Some people actually decide to quit following traffic laws, which causes them to drive recklessly and kill people in automobile accidents and injure them. So people are quitting following traffic laws. How are we going to sit here and say that following traffic laws is a healthy thing to do? What about all the parents that are quitting paying child support? There are people left and right quitting child support payments. So why are we going to sit here and say that, oh, it's so healthy to pay child support? It's clearly not. I once knew somebody who volunteered at shelters and they eventually quit doing that. So we can't be out here, advocating for volunteering at shelters in general, because I mean, people are quitting that. It can't be good for our health. What about domestic abusers? When somebody becomes a domestic abuser, they are making the active decision to quit not being a domestic abuser. This is serious, guys. There's so many things out here that people are quitting that are therefore unhealthy, and we're just allowing it to just be advocated for by all these organizations like the anti-domestic abuse advocate groups and stuff. Why are we sitting here advocating against domestic violence when there's people quitting not committing domestic violence? Guys, what about breathing? Some people actually stop breathing. If people are going to make decisions to stop breathing, then breathing is therefore unhealthy, just like the vegan diet. People are quitting the vegan diet. People are quitting breathing. We got to stop advocating for breathing. Allowing oxygen to come into contact with every cell in your body is not healthy. What about people who cheat on their significant other? When somebody decides to cheat on their significant other, they are quitting being loyal. So loyalty in an exclusive monogamous relationship is not healthy. What about not drowning? There are people who have ended up drowning and in turn dying, which means they're quitting not drowning. If you're going to quit not drowning, and we have, several people in the past who have quit not drowning, then drowning must be healthy and not drowning must be unhealthy. Okay, guys, we have two more. What about not being lit on fire? Really think about that for a second. There's people who have, been incinerated. They've lit themselves on fire. And if people are going to quit not being on fire or not being incinerated and not being burnt to a crisp, then how are we going to sit here and say that not being on fire is healthy? People are quitting the act of not being on fire. And last but not least, guys, living. There are people who actually end up quitting living. How are we going to make the observation that thousands of people, if not millions of people, have ended up quitting living and then determine and tell everyone that we should continue living and promote longevity? Living is clearly not healthy, guys. I will be very honest, guys. I'm very confused at how our leading epidemiologists and health experts are choosing to do massive studies in the forms of randomized control trials, meta-analyses of randomized control trials, observational studies, systematic reviews, and all these other kinds of data analysis, when all you have to do to determine if an action is unhealthy is see if there are people quitting it. It really makes you question the health authorities that we put in front of us as, figures of influence and people that we should look up to. We should be looking at the anti-vegans on YouTube and the carnivore diet crowd. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got to the end of this video, but ended up quitting watching halfway and then came back later to finish the video, you should probably stop watching my videos for health reasons, because you quit watching my video halfway through. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this health advice, can help you make better decisions in your life, and I'll see you in the next video.
Dude, even vegans don't get your weird, stupid wannabe sense of irony here. Who is your audience? Nobody gets these dumb jokes. Dude, even vegans don't get your weird, stupid